We want to get right to our GMA cover story, the trauma of January 6th. It's something many lawmakers and staffers are still living with, trying to work through together. Our congressional correspondent Rachel Scott, who was on the Hill that day, spent some time with them. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning. Those staffers and lawmakers were both witnesses and victims of the deadly insurrection. 1 year later, bonded together by that trauma, but still struggling to recover.
1 year after the deadly insurrection, one close-knit group of Democratic lawmakers are struggling to cope with the trauma.
Can you believe that it's already been a year?
It's really hard to believe it. All of the memories feel just as fresh and raw.
As the Capitol came under attack, lawmakers were trapped in the House chamber, the mob pounding on the door.
Initially, for me, it was just, how do you get out of here?
Yeah.
In the gallery, we prayed, that though also made me feel back to that word faith. Like, all in that balcony, in that gallery, I could just feel every ancestor, all of the bad things that have to wake you up to what the reality is.
And I will admit that I still harbor feelings of anger and resentment.
You do.
I snapped back in to that Jason Crow Army Ranger mindset and was preparing myself to potentially have to take life again to protect us and to get out.
Most people don't have to come back every single day to the place where they endured so much trauma. When you're back inside the chamber, what do you think about now?
I think about it all the time. And every time I get an alert, because we get alerts on our phones, I feel my heart starting to race a little bit more, right? I feel anxiety. I haven't gone back to the gallery.
Those lawmakers, together in the gallery that day by chance, stayed in touch. Group text messages turning into therapy sessions. Some diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder.
The crucible of that day brought us together, has made us more resolute, impassioned, and strong.
And you've kept the gas mask, something that many people maybe would never want to see again. Why keep it?
This bears witness. You know, this is going to be with me wherever I end up. This moment, you know, is going to be seared into my memory and is a reminder of the responsibility.
Nancy! Oh, Nancy! And their staffs were haunted too. Nancy Pelosi's team barricading themselves inside a conference room just steps away from the mob. You can hear Aide Nathaniel Holmes whispering in horror.
They're pounding on doors trying to find her. Yeah.
This is his first time speaking out.
I thought we were gonna die.
Do you think about the scenarios?
A lot of thoughts were going through my head on that day. Were they gonna kill us? Like, were they gonna torture us? That has been my most traumatic experience.
1 year later, while the initial shock has worn off, an unanticipated grief remains that time can't even seem to shake.
Do you think it's possible for the Capitol to ever be the same?
See, I don't know if it'll be the same, but hopefully it can be better.
And some aides were so shaken by what happened to them on January 6th that they quit their jobs, leaving the Capitol altogether, George.
And Rachel, what an unusual start to your Capitol Hill, your career covering Capitol Hill, your first day last January 6th.
First day on the beat, I started the day in Georgia covering a historic Senate runoff election, ended it in Washington, D.C., covering a deadly insurrection. And not just my first day, it was the first week for freshman lawmakers on the job, many of them running for cover, hiding in a building that they hardly knew. The Capitol changed that day, and many of us still feel the weight of that almost every single time we walk into that building, George.
For anyone who's ever worked there, Rachel, you know, I started my career on Capitol Hill almost 40 years ago and was so deeply affected by that day because of what was happening to the center, the seat of our democracy. As I said earlier in the program, it was a deeply sad day for anyone who's ever been inside those halls.
It really was, George, and our politics state changed too. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.